Hi everyone, welcome back to Secure Your Benefits. If you're new here, I want to make one thing very clear on this channel: I only bring you real, verified news, especially when it comes to Social Security. Every script you hear from me is the result of hours of research, cross-checking sources, digging through official reports, and making sure what I share with you is up to date and accurate. I don't rely on rumors or recycled content. I work hard to make sure that you retirees, workers, and everyday people are fully informed. Now, let's get into today's important updates, because there's a lot happening right now in the Social Security world, and some of it could affect you directly. A major legal decision came down just this week that has thrown a spotlight on privacy and government overreach. A federal judge has extended a ban on DOGE, that's the Department of Government Efficiency, from accessing sensitive Social Security data. This department, as many of you already know, was set up as part of a new push for streamlined government systems and is famously associated with Elon Musk. But streamlining doesn't mean stomping on privacy, and that's exactly what critics have been saying. The judge ruled that DOGE had no valid reason for demanding full, unfiltered access to American Social Security information, and that doing so would pose a significant threat to privacy and civil liberties. DOGE has now been limited to only anonymized data, and even that access comes with serious restrictions. Anyone from DOGE's team who wants access must pass background checks and undergo official data protection training. Why does this matter? Because your Social Security records are not just numbers. They include personal income history, benefits status, medical disability details, and in some cases, dependent information. Misuse or breach of that data could be catastrophic, not just financially, but emotionally. And speaking of controversy, let's talk about what's happening on Capitol Hill. Congressman Gerald Connolly, a senior Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, has been sounding the alarm for weeks. In a scathing letter released publicly, he accused DOGE of creating chaos within the Social Security Administration. According to him, DOGE's presence hasn't led to more efficiency. Instead, it's created confusion, tech disruptions, and even fear among SSA employees. He says that DOGE tried to merge Social Security databases with those of other federal departments without proper legal clearance or cybersecurity safeguards. That's alarming. Can you imagine your earnings record from the SSA being cross-linked to databases at Homeland Security, the IRS, or even outside contractors without your knowledge? That's not efficiency. That's a potential privacy disaster. It gets worse. Congressman Connolly also claims that DOGE's leadership cut SSA's internal IT team by 50%, leaving essential systems vulnerable to outages and slowdowns. For those of you who've been waiting on appeals, payments, or even basic letters from SSA, this might explain why there have been so many delays lately. When you remove the people who keep the system running, it's no surprise when it starts to slow down or worse, break. Now, let's pivot to something more positive, and honestly, this is one of the biggest wins for retirees in years. The Social Security Fairness Act. If you haven't heard of it, this law was signed earlier this year and it's already started to change lives across the country. This act does two incredibly important things. First, it eliminates the windfall elimination provision, and second, it removes the government pension offset. These two provisions have long penalized teachers, police officers, firefighters, and other public servants who split their careers between jobs that paid into Social Security and those that didn't. What that meant, in plain terms, was that millions of retirees received reduced or no Social Security benefits, even though they had earned them. The Social Security Fairness Act reverses that. And the impact? Huge. As of March 4, 2025, over 1.1 million Americans have already received retroactive payments. The total amount paid back so far? More than $7.5 billion. The average payout was around $6,710, with some folks receiving much more, depending on how long they'd been underpaid. And here's the real kicker: monthly benefit increases have already started rolling out in April. So if you're someone who was affected by WEP or GPO, make sure you check your payment history or contact SSA directly. This is money you've earned, and you deserve every penny of it. But as with anything involving government programs, even the good news comes with some red tape. There's now a serious issue with funding at the SSA. Implementing these massive retroactive payments, along with upgrading their systems to calculate benefits fairly under the new law, requires money. A lot of money. Senators Ed Markey and Ron Wyden have led a group of lawmakers urging Congress to approve emergency funding for the SSA. Without it, there's a real risk that the agency will have to pull resources from other areas like appeals, customer service, and disability processing just to keep up with the demands of this new law. What that means for you is this: if you're waiting on a disability ruling, a corrected benefit amount, or just trying to speak to a live SSA representative, be prepared for possible delays. That's frustrating, I know. But this situation really shines a light on how underfunded the SSA has been for years, even though it serves 70 million Americans each month. It's not a luxury program. It's a lifeline. In the middle of all this, the court ruling limiting DOGE's access is being hailed as a victory not just for privacy, but for the integrity of the Social Security system itself. The judge said it plainly: DOGE's actions could disrupt the SSA's core mission, which is to serve beneficiaries, not spy on them or compromise their data. Lawmakers are now calling for an investigation by the SSA's Inspector General into DOGE's conduct, and more legal battles may be ahead. This is far from over. So let's take a breath for a second. Think about everything we've just covered. A legal tug of war over your private data. A new law that finally corrects decades of unfairness toward retired public workers. Retroactive payments hitting bank accounts across the country. And behind it all, a federal agency under massive pressure expected to do more, faster, with fewer people and less money. It's a lot. And it's why channels like this matter. Because you're not going to hear this stuff in 15-second clips on social media or flashy headlines that barely scratch the surface. That's why I'm here. To do the digging, the reading, the verifying so you don't have to. If this video helped you understand what's really going on, or if you learned something new today, I would really appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Share it with someone who's on Social Security or approaching retirement, because trust me, they need to know this stuff. And please, leave a comment below. I love hearing your questions, your experiences, and your stories. It helps this community grow, and it helps me bring you better, more focused content. I put a lot of hard work and time into creating these videos just for you, so if you find them helpful, please support the channel by sharing them with as many people as possible. Your support means the world to me and helps this important information reach those who truly need it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and tap that bell icon so you get notified the second I post new updates. This is Secure Your Benefits, and I'm Mirza Imran. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and as always, protect what you've earned.